Mike didn't pick
Welcome
that
to
up,
this
did he?
edition of Hindsight is Horrifying, the show where three mostly normal and somewhat cynical adults discuss
We're not
life as
sponsored by
members of
them.
the TV generation. Now here are your hosts.
We're not
Darth
actually sponsored
Jader,
by anybody.
Jason Mitchell and Adam B.
God dang it.
Another one with him.
Michelob Ultra.
Yeah.
Michelob. Is,
Yeah.
This is why I tried to get you to drink the champagne instead.
Hello. Hello.
Hello,
I'm cutting everybody
hindsighters.
off. Ha. Welcome back to. Oh, still got some music on. Welcome back to another exciting edition
You're the
of
dumbest boy in school.
Hindsight is Horrifying. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the show. We are back. We have survived. We have survived an encounter with the predators of the deep. Darth, why don't you tell them what we did this past, what was that, Sunday?
Sunday fun day. Oh, Sharky's making out with me. Stop it. Get down, you. We actually went to the Georgia Aquarium and braved the gallery called the Predators of the Deep, which includes some of the most feared sharks in all of the ocean. So your intrepid hindsighters, your favorite podcasters actually went into the tank with tiger sharks, sand tiger sharks, silver tips, and great hammerheads.
We have a recording of Mr. Brown somewhere.
Wetting his suit.
Oh my. Did the
Oh, there we go. That was.
Oh, that was you? I thought that was that other girl who was in the tank with
No,
us.
that wasn't because of the sharks. That was because of the temperature of the water when it hit my gonads.
Yeah, when it gets to plum level, that's when you know. That separates the men from the boys. Or actually, it makes them the opposite of separate.
It makes the men into boys, is what it does.
God. Anyway.
Yes, we went to the Georgia Aquarium and we did the Predators of the Deep experience. We dived in a shark cage with tiger sharks, sand tiger sharks, hammerheads.
The camera's not on
We
us,
need
dear.
the camera. I'm trying to.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Check it.
Oh,
Yes.
The back is super cool.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and you can't get that shirt unless you dive.
Exactly.
Or unless you buy one on eBay. Or if you know someone who works there.
We should sign our shirts and auction them off and see what they go for.
They don't want to.
We don't want to lower the value. We don't want to lower the value.
Exactly.
I don't know. My troll would probably buy mine and add it to his
Yeah, but then
shrine.
God, what would he do with it?
He'd go full Mel Gibson from Conspiracy Theory.
Oh, I figured he'd
make
just
a Darth Jader shrine.
I figured he'd just use it for cleanup.
Oh.
Oh.
Anywho,
Yes.
I mean,
Are we here with a movie?
Yes.
Curious.
Yes, we're going to do a movie tonight.
and it has a specific theme because of the dive that we just experienced at the Georgia Aquarium. This was Darth
It's
Jader's
Cocoon.
pick. It's yes. No, we picked possibly the worst and best shark movie of all time, hindsighters. It is called Shark Night.
It is neither of those.
It
things.
is amazing.
It is neither of those. It's no the Italian The Last Shark.
It's so fantastically
Yeah.
bad. It's great.
Wait a minute. It's not terrible.
I mean, it does.
Oh, a girl in a bikini showed up. Of course,
Yeah.
it's not terrible all of a sudden.
Well, and we're the beginning of the movie. It begins with just such a.
Gratuitous?
Yeah, it is very gratuitous, and it's very much there's someone in a bikini in the water. Oh, the camera's getting closer. I hope it's not a shark. It's not.
And
It's her
it is-
boyfriend. Yes, it's the gay person she took on a trip with her.
Who suddenly discovered
Yeah.
his super secret feelings for, skanky bikini
Oh my
girl.
God, get off me. Get back in the water.
Ew, Steven, don't touch me.
The first full third of the movie is just bait and switch gags.
Yeah.
Like jailbait and Switch?
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's most of the chicks in this film.
No, I mean literally you go from this to Malik threatening Ted from
yeah.
Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna beat you up because you're my tutor and I got a B.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, man.
And they play to such stereotypes with Malik. It's like comically horrible.
It's pretty, and he's the first one.
Well,
that-
that's the main
He does,
stereotype.
Yeah.
He
not
got
the first
eaten
one to
quickly.
get killed. No, the first
well, the
one
first
to get,
one of the group.
To get
of
his
the crew.
army.
Yeah.
So the synopsis for the hindsighters who aren't familiar with this fantastically horrible film is a weekend at the lake house in Louisiana in the Louisiana Gulf turns into a nightmare for 7 vacationers as they are subjected to shark attacks.
Yeah, and I guess this is, and that's it. That's the
It's a
movie.
cross between Friday the 13th, Jaws, and what's the one with the computer generated sharks that we watched?
Deep Blue Sea.
And Deep Blue Sea. I would say it's a mix
Yeah.
of those.
There's nobody nearly as handsome as Tom Jane in this movie, though. That's the downside.
No, not even
That I
close.
would agree. I'll go with you on that one.
I was surprised to see Donald in the film.
I mean, seeing Ted from Schitt's Creek basically playing Ted from Schitt's Creek.
Joel David Moore of Grandma's Boy fame, the guy in the Matrix coat
And
who
Catherine
acted like a
McPhee.
computer all the time,
Yeah.
does
Oh,
not
yeah.
compute. But he had his hair slicked back. He looks very different in this movie. He's more of a Shaggy type character.
Yeah, he's very much Shaggy.
Oh, big time.
He's just Shaggy, and he's trying to shag Catherine McPhee,
Yeah.
which can't blame him. And it almost works.
Yeah.
It comes very, very close.
Well, because poor guy, he can sense her vulnerability in the sense that she's done with douchebags, and he's like, oh, maybe I have an in here.
yeah.
And they both ended up merging in the belly of a shark.
Yes, they did.
They got eaten by two different
Oh, that's true. They got
sharks.
eaten by different sharks.
Oh, I
Yeah, get it
Yeah.
together.
They all look the same to me, shark.
Let's go ahead and rip off the Band-Aid and talk about spoilers. FYI, if you
Yeah.
haven't seen this movie.
Or are dumb as a post and can't predict this movie.
Okay. It's a traditional, typical sort of horror movie idea. You've got a group of idiots who are
Except
all...
for one.
College kids.
Yeah.
One level-headed
Yeah,
guy
there's one level-headed guy.
Ted from Schitt's Creek.
Ted from Schitt's Creek.
who's just playing Ted from Schitt's Creek, except this is
Yeah.
actually a prequel to Schitt's Creek because he flunked out of med school.
Oh my God.
And had to become a veterinarian
Holy crap.
and moved to a small town to have a practice.
Oh my God, this movie takes place in the same
I
universe
did
as
it!
Schitt's Creek.
I did it.
He changed his name.
And he still falls for like high
No.
maintenance.
No, he didn't change his name.
Oh my God, Ted.
Ted in Schitt's Creek, Fugue State.
No, Theodore is his
Yeah.
first name, and it's embarrassing. He doesn't want people to know that he flunked out of med school, so he changes his name from Nick to Ted.
Okay. So his name is Nicholas Theodore. Or
Nicholas Theodore.
Nicholas Theodore Bumblesnatch, whatever. I don't know.
Of the Massachusetts Bumble Snatchers.
Yeah, I don't know.
The very same.
And he doesn't wear glasses anymore.
He looks like Clark Kent for the first 30 seconds of the movie, and then he doesn't wear glasses for the remainder of the
Well,
film.
he takes off his glasses like this.
Oh,
Yes.
my God, Mr. Brown, what happened to you?
Oh no, you have a scar.
What happened?
Jade did that to me.
I sure
was
did.
Swimming and near a motorboat, and I tried to motorboat, and I got cut in the eye.
He deserved it. He
No,
had
this
it
is
coming.
this is foreshadowing as to what we're going to experience in the film.
Foreshadowing.
That's too fancy a word for a film like this.
Yeah.
Even the word film is too fancy for a flick like this, I'm telling you.
I mean, it's as far as bad movies go, as far as you're up late at night playing video games. I mean, I can tell you a million times, put Minecraft on or Fallout 4 and just go on Amazon and find a crappy movie and just play it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And just have it going.
But if you like looking at pretty girls,
Well, no, that's what I was going to say, though, is
Yes.
this is better than those.
it's better than Glenn and Glenda.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Well, things actually happen in this movie.
That's right.
And I think that's what separates it from a lot of the really crappy. Yes, go ahead.
And it's a very Julia Roberts conspiracy theory, the sort of thing. This girl's obsessed with her treadmill. She's on it for like 3.5 hours. What is that? She's just the main
The movie
girl,
doesn't explain anything.
It sort of does, but it takes its sweet time doing it, and it doesn't. It's I don't know.
I don't
There's,
know.
But
Well-
the main girl, Sarah, has this dark secret, and you don't know what it is.
Oh, look, she's going to be done by some guy.
Yeah.
And then it turns out the bait and switch.
Yeah, another bait and switch.
This is a different
the
girl.
the whole beginning of the movie
Yes.
is the cop, the sheriff chasing them, and then it's like,
Yes.
oh, I really am not gonna arrest you.
I'm a bad person.
yeah, of
And
course.
then-
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah, the skanky girl, you think she's about to get laid, but no, she's getting another tat because
Right.
she's so
Tat.
badass.
it's just bait and switch. Who is this girl? I expected her to show up later on.
Oh no, she's drawing one of the guys.
I know. But that was kind of weird because it was like I thought he was just some dude that was a model that they brought in, and she was going to be the.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah,
I
you-
thought she was.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is she fitting? And she does not fit the profile of a girl who's going to go up to a lake and get eaten.
Well,
You know
she
why
does
I wouldn't
because
do-
she- clearly
you know-
from this interaction with her getting all shy, drawing the nude model, she's the virgin, and virgins always die
That's
in
true.
movies like
That's
this.
true.
True that.
You know why I wouldn't do the nude modeling thing?
Sorry.
Besides lack of interest,
Do tell.
which is admittedly the main problem.
The last time they threw too many tomatoes, and those get sticky.
Well, no, I would just, I have this feeling that 5 minutes into doing the nude modeling thing in front of a classroom full of people, I would just think the word fart. And I would just spend the next hour and a half just desperately holding in a fart. And I feel like that would translate to some of the art. I think the expression on my face would be a man desperately trying to hold in a fart.
But if you did let it go, that would be another art form.
That's true. That's
Oh,
true.
wow. You guys took this to a
Jackson
whole classy
Pollock,
place.
or
We didn't rehearse this at all.
No, absolutely.
It's just flowing out.
exactly.
So
naturally.
would you model nude, Mr. Brown?
I don't know.
It's cold.
I've never thought about it.
If it was, a tepid,
It
pleasant
just seems
temperature.
like it would be very boring.
I
Well,
make
of course it would.
too much
Yeah.
money for that actually
Yeah.
right now. If I was broke and they paid me something, I might have done it. But you never know where if someone snaps a picture with their cell phone where it's going to end up.
You're
Well,
okay
now-
with them drawing you and keeping that, but you're not okay with them snapping a photo of
Well,
you.
yeah, because they can use artistic license if they're drawing me.
Yeah, but that's-
Nobody wants to draw
Yeah,
an
but that
out of
can-
shape dude.
But that can go either way, Jason.
That's true.
All I
That's
know,
true.
it better be warm in that room
Yeah.
so that we have an accurate depiction.
Oh my.
This is how, by the way, we're skipping over the entire beginning of Scary Movie 2.
yeah.
Did
Because
you
it's
fast
so
forward
pointless.
this or something?
No,
get
that's-
through the naughty
No,
bits?
no, this is that. Yeah, the movie does its fair share in the beginning, and it wasn't nearly as bad as I was expecting.
Slow cranking.
Well, of substituting stuff happening with just traveling, because it's like we get in the car and we're doing this thing where we're driving. I don't need to see you drive. I know when you get in a car that you're going somewhere, and you can just cut to you arriving
It's
there.
implied, yeah. And it's not as
yeah.
even there's any fun or cute banter that they try to pull off
No.
in the car. It's literally just a song playing in the background while they speed
Yeah.
along the road. It
And I thought they were going to do that again with the boat ride out to the house, but then that actually
turned into an action sequence.
well,
of
there
sorts.
was dialogue. Ted
Yes.
and the blonde had that weird, like, where he told her she's hot. No,
Well,
I mean sweaty.
But you
know,
have the
yeah.
important altercation before they get on the boat.
which
so,
we are.
they're,
to now,
They're
yeah.
in the bayou of Louisiana.
They
Yeah,
always
it
have
was
to
it was
stay-
like going
yeah.
home.
I was gonna ask.
The car always has to stop either at a gas station or a bait shop
Well, that's all they have in Louisiana.
to have
That's it. Yeah.
a little foreshadowing. Do you remember Tucker and Dale
And-
versus Evil?
Oh yeah.
That's what this reminds me of.
And-
That's a wonderful movie too, podcasters, if you wanted to see that.
We may have to cover it someday. But yeah, so you
A
have
lot
this-
of wine in that crappy little bait shop.
Well,
lot of
they're in
wine.
Louisiana. What else are they gonna do?
I've never seen like a woman of that caliber tinkle before.
No, and I really
tinkle shot.
yeah, it is a gratuitous shot of Catherine McPhee peeing.
And I don't know what it is about movies depicting this, but I don't go. I don't go to the bathroom in front of another friend. Like that's just
Well,
weird.
The toilet didn't have a door on.
No, well
I know, but
because of the camera.
But if I were the
Yeah.
blonde. if I
Where's
were
the
blonde,
camera?
though, I would have waited outside until she was done, and then I would have come in and done my business. I don't know. That's just weird. Girls don't go to the bathroom together like that, in my experience.
I don't know.
Well,
For those of you out there who do,
Georgia girls.
that's your business.
Yes.
well,
Your
you know,
business is your business, I
yeah,
guess.
so we do need to talk about the Louisiana aspect of this. Being somebody from Louisiana,
Yes, how represented do you feel in this movie, Jason? Dude,
I'm
so,
trying. You know,
did this inspire nostalgia for your
I-
upbringing?
like most movies involving Louisiana, it felt more like a horrible minstrel show. But-
Don't do it.
What kind of show?
You heard me.
Oh, okay.
But speaking of movies set in Louisiana, this movie has a very substantial Burt Reynolds connection.
Airboats.
Neither of you caught this. The director, before he was a director, was a stuntman. And look up his name because
I was about to nice to meet you, Hal Needham.
He was a stuntman on movies such as Smokey and the Bandit,
The director.
Such
the
as-
director was.
Cooper,
Wow.
Sharky's Machine.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he worked with Burt Reynolds.
You're kidding
No,
me.
I swear to God.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
What?
I can't remember his name. 'Cause
David R. Ellis.
David R.
Dave
Ellis. Yeah.
Ellis.
Yeah, he was, and he also, he directed Snakes on a Plane.
Wow, this movie
Same.
actually-
There's
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of good stuff going
Yeah.
on with this film. More than I even thought.
this movie made money, gentlemen.
A lot. It's like
The
twice.
budget was
25? 18?
about
And it made,
25 and it
40.
made okay.
See, I remember these things.
This was $25 million.
Yeah, yeah.
They've got
Well, all the CGI
marketing.
sharks and-
Marketing's got to be in there.
A lot.
Oh, a
That's
ton
got to
of it.
be the budget after marketing. There's no way this movie was actually
Well, because
25
none of
million.
these people were famous, really. Like the most famous person on there is one of the spoiler alert, who turns out to be one of the bad guys, is
Don L. Logue.
Chris Carmack from the OC.
Oops.
The one,
Wow, that was
never heard
that
of
was
him.
not who I was going for.
the one with the scar on his face, like Mr. Brown is
By the way,
attempting
don't
to
call
emulate.
it that.
What?
The OC.
Oh,
He had
that's
a- he had a-
the
he had a
television
rash.
show, the OC.
He had a rash on his eye, which apparently had a lot of meaning.
Well, there are a lot of parasites in that bayou.
And by the way, if you guys, if you get certified for scuba, you do have to have a scuba tag branded on your back like this douchebag.
Scuba is life, dude.
I'm just saying that.
Duh.
A lot of scuba going on in the
God.
murky ass fucking waters of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot. People just love scuba diving in Lake Pontchartrain.
Do they slather
Yeah.
themselves in chicken fat before they go
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that the gators know they're
Yeah,
there?
it's more like, why would you, and we'll get to this too, you're scuba diving in water where you can't see 4 inches in front of your face.
It's utterly pointless.
Yeah.
Unless you're,
Unless you're
trolling
Ted.
for body parts.
Yes, unless
Spoiler
you're looking
alert.
for a black man's severed arm, then it's the easiest damn thing in the world.
And you don't even need scuba gear or
No,
goggles to
no.
see clearly.
Yeah, Ted's a hell of a free diver.
He's like a superhero in
He
brackish
really is,
water.
yeah.
But so this altercation is a big turning point in the story. So first of all, these idiot kids from college get loaded up with vodka and Red Bull, so you know it's
I
going to
know.
be that
Don't you
kind
just
of a
hate 'em?
weekend.
Don't you
I
just
know.
hate 'em
They're
right out of
such
the
douche-
gate?
And I hate it because Ted's the one who brings it to the counter, and I'm just like, come on, Ted. You're supposed to be the level-headed guy. Vodka and Red Bull. Are you pre-med? This is why you flunked med school and became a vet.
Yeah.
God. But
Just bring an abortion doctor with you.
oh God.
You know, it'll be faster. You can get one of those like frequent, like the sandwich shops have.
Well, they wouldn't have been able to call and make an appointment from the island because
That's-
cell service would. Yeah, so you have to bring the doctor with you.
Yeah, I know. I love the
Perform
fact.
on-site abortion.
I know that they're at this It's a very nice.
It's
very
a
nice
multi-million
place.
dollar house with a boat
apparently-
dock, its
Yeah,
own gasoline,
yeah,
like
with no means of communication
no
with the
cell
outside
tower,
world.
nothing.
Yeah.
I'd have built like my own Taco Bell franchise there. I would have built my own little civilization. It's a private island.
Yeah, I just love that we still live, in a time when you can be so racist towards Louisiana that you can actually pull that one off.
Oh, God.
Yeah, believe it or not, we tend to have telephones. Oh, and also cell towers can transmit over water.
What?
Believe it or not, it's amazing
Are they
what they can do
disguised as
nowadays.
very cleverly hidden trees,
Yeah.
like they are in Georgia?
No, it's an alligator.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
giant alligator, but it's really a cell phone tower.
Oh, that's baller.
That's for the tourists.
But okay, so there's this altercation at the Clapboard gas station / convenience store where Sarah, the main blonde girl, runs into an ex-boyfriend, and
What's his name? Dennis, Lucas, Mark?
Dennis.
He's got a scar on his eye.
Yes, he
Yes.
does.
I
And
thought it was the other eye.
Oh, it might have
oh, you messed up.
been. I was looking at myself in the mirror.
And so the image flipped.
I'm putting my glasses back on.
But Ted / Nick is clearly in love with Sarah. He's crushing on her pretty hard to the
Yeah.
point where the other guys are like, "Dude, come on, seriously, are you gonna hit that or not?"
He's too good for her.
I agree.
She's kind of weird looking.
He's so I don't really. I'm not.
Her face is a little.
Has she done anything after this?
I don't.
Let's find out.
I looked up. I looked up a few of the people, but then it was just consistently nothing.
I only
Catherine
knew Donald, right? That was it.
Catherine McPhee's done a lot of stuff.
Oh, she
you ever
was
seen-
in. Sarah Paxton was in Aquamarine, where she played a mermaid.
Never heard of it.
No.
It's a kids movie.
Oh,
Are you familiar with the Tao of Steve? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just
Okay,
asked you.
great.
Okay,
No,
moving on.
Zero follow up. All right. So there's an altercation between Sarah and her ex before her and her buddies get out on the boat to go to the multi-million-dollar property that her parents own, evidently. It's so great when mommy and daddy have so much money, but
Well, did they imply that it's a judge or a mayor or?
yeah, her dad's like
yeah.
the judge because the sheriff. He has the sheriff bringing them their mail by boat, and I'm like, okay.
I like that apparently in Louisiana they have a sheriff just doing speed traps, like he's just on
Oh,
that
yeah.
one particular part of the bayou.
Because the sheriff has no freaking better thing to do.
Yeah, and he's not a deputy. He's the sheriff.
He's the sheriff
of some parish in Louisiana.
But
they make more than $12 an hour.
Yes, they do.
Trust me on this one.
It's pretty much required.
It's Louisiana. You don't get into politics to be poor.
No. But so Sarah runs into her ex, and you discover that there's some, tension between them. There's some dark history. You don't know what it is, though, yet. It's the big secret that they're going to keep for
as it
a
turns
third
out,
of the movie.
It's not all that dark.
No, it was
really
an
not that-
accident.
it's really
so
not that dark.
Hindsight is what happened. Sarah was in love with Dennis when they were teenagers.
Sarah the blonde.
Yeah.
And Dennis
Right.
the racist asshole.
Yeah, with the scar.
One of the racist assholes.
The scar on his face. She's the reason he has the scar on his face, which this story makes no sense. I will preface this. Sarah
stupid.
grew up with Dennis being like the hunky guy in town.
All the girls wanted him.
They wanted him as
He's
their
a good-looking man.
They wanted him as their swim instructor. Everybody wanted lessons from Dennis, and so he and Sarah fell in love. They were like
Dennis.
Dennis the Menace.
Dennis?
So
Like biggest, thickest?
You know what Dennis's last name was, right?
do tell.
Mitchell. Dennis and Menace.
Oh, that,
We're related.
That
makes
Dennis
sense.
the
That
Menace.
But I think Dennis harbors some ill will towards Sarah because she aspires to go to college and leave their little town, and he just loved the water. He would never leave the water, so he feels like she's leaving him unfairly. And
He was making a good living.
And
Why go
she-
to college?
right, and so he got angry with her while they were diving, and something happened with her gear, and he wouldn't share his air with her. So she panicked and swam to the surface and cut the boat to get away from him, and wound up slicing his face open with the propeller.
Yeah.
And somehow he's not like horribly mangled.
He doesn't talk like this.
It's like,
Yeah.
I've seen dog bites that have had
Yeah,
worse
exactly.
effect. Hell,
Well, like I
this
said-
is worse than what he's got going on his face.
Yeah, well, it's like I
He
said.
had pink eye.
Yeah, I've popped zits that left bigger scars than that. You
Gross.
want to see it? No.
No. No.
But
How much did Budweiser pay to get in this movie? That's
about
what I
as
wanna
much as
know.
Mick Ultra paid to be on this podcast. But you're right. So Sarah gets in the boat, takes her friends to the multi-million-dollar estate, and she ends up racing the sheriff through the bayou. And it's the
It's
bait and
exciting.
switch.
You think, oh my God, they're going to jail. Oh
Yeah,
no, they're
no,
all.
they're not.
You know what? After the third bait and switch, I was kind of on to them.
Yeah.
I was on to them.
yeah.
Okay, so how is he going to be her friend, and how is this going to play out? And
Now, there's really the bait and switches kind of stop. Oh, but wait, hang on. We have to talk about this weird sequence when they get to the house and they do the weird, the monkeys opening theme.
Oh, you just want to see the
Thing.
girls taking their tops off. That's what
oh,
you.
that's right. It's
It's
fast cranking, slow
yeah,
cranking.
and it's
Wank
like
cranking.
it's so funny.
Crank
Ha ha ha! Wait, this is a shark movie.
Like, there's nothing to it. It's literally just them settling into the house and putting down their suitcases, changing into bathing suits, and going outside.
and
Like,
being retarded people.
yeah, more or less.
Yeah, these are the movies that make you an anti-feminist because you watch it and you go, why are the women so stupid?
Yeah.
Well, they like taking off their tops.
They like
'cause
being in front of
need-
each other and
Yeah,
getting
they
naked
fear-
together.
yeah.
They
Like,
need that PG-13 rating.
That's true.
well, of
yeah.
course.
I mean,
And
like, do they have a pillow fight scheduled for later tonight?
Yeah.
one can only hope.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah will be making s'mores
Ah,
in the
stop
corner.
with the jumps.
Yeah.
It hurts my brain.
It's ridiculous.
Has anyone here ever been on an event like that in real life, or is this
Like
pure
what?
I don't know, going someplace,
Going
with
for the weekend with your
everyone
friends? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
with
Sure.
bikinis and things like that, and taking tops off and doing.
Yeah,
that?
it-
Well, I wasn't taking my top off, but yeah, I've been
well, then
places
you're,
with
then
my
you're
friends.
out.
Yeah.
How about you, Jason?
Oh my god.
Well,
There
I
had to
took,
be top
I'm
removal.
not giving
well,
you a
I took
visual.
my top off.
Well, that frightened the children.
Yeah,
Then you
so-
had to put it back on.
No, actually, these
That's
were
why
always.
I got kicked out of the nude modeling art class.
Whenever I was, of the age where this was a thing people did, I was always the one who was so shy and nervous that I just didn't enjoy myself.
Yeah.
And it was like, can we go to the island where it's just guys? You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, were you intimidated by the females?
Oh my God, I was I was the shyest, most introverted person in the world.
Really?
Up until probably about
3 months ago.
yeah,
I, would,
a few months
I was
ago.
about to
Yeah.
say, when did that change?
Well, when that mule kicked me.
When that shark bit you.
Yeah.
And when you got smacked in the face by that propeller.
I'm going to ask a stupid question here. Okay,
Do
about
please.
bikinis, because when you look at a woman in a bikini like that, I feel like how could you be comfortable
You're not.
Okay.
I'm not either. No. I'm not comfortable around them. They can't be comfortable.
Well, you can't get out of the water, I would assume. So
Pip-it.
yeah, you would be
Pip-it.
somewhat uncomfortable. Yeah, and Sarah's got this weird attachment to her dog, and that plays off later. So that at least makes sense.
That makes sense.
The relationship with the dog, because they're even talking about Sarah from a distance, where Malik is trying to talk Nick into making a move. He's like, Ted, go get her.
Yeah, but they're all such dicks to Ted about it. Like,
They're like, oh, you're so in love with Sarah. Mm.
yeah, you're not a man because you're not, dude, I'm just going to a party to have fun. Can I just enjoy myself?
It was very high schoolish.
Yeah, very
then
high schoolish.
The nude model who spray tans his junk, or not spray tans, he bronzes it.
I
He
kind of
polishes it clearly.
I kind of feel like the Big Lebowski. I kind of feel bad that the Catherine McPhee character and the whatever the hell that guy's, I don't know what his name is, the guy in the hat,
Oh.
hat guy. Hat guy and Catherine McPhee, they came the closest. Gordon and Catherine McPhee came the closest in that beer pong scene to me actually like, okay, I kind of think they would make an interesting duo to like have a problem to solve together, and like she's the hot one, she's slutty, but maybe she can reveal some depth to her.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's none of that shit.
Yeah,
happened.
they lead up to where you think that's going to happen because she clearly dated the Adonis model guy, and now she's over the douchebag scene, and so Gordon's trying to kind of make a move. He's like, oh, maybe a nerdy guy like me has a shot.
No, she's just Cheryl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Outlaw country.
Yeah.
And God, this guy can play every sport and do every physical thing in the world. Malik is not only like he's a football player.
I want to be Malik
Seriously.
until the part where he gets his arm bit off.
But to be fair, though, how badass would it be to have your arm ripped off and then just like no blood?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
clotted. He clotted
He clotted
completely.
immediately.
Because he does even say earlier in the movie, he's like, I'm Superman, girl. Like,
Yeah.
and he clearly is because, he can clot like a champion. He's a better water skier than the Jaws 3D water skiers.
Yeah.
And they share a similar fate, him and the water skiers.
And those sharks are fast moving, aren't they?
They are incredibly fast.
incredible stamina.
And the one shark they don't have is a Mako, who actually would be that fast.
I was,
Yeah.
my God, I was so infuriated by this movie because they kept making it like as if bull sharks could catch a speedboat.
No.
They cannot, Heinz.
No, they cannot catch a speedboat. Or a
Makos can-
fucking jet ski.
Yeah.
Right, of course
Makos
not.
can barely catch up to, and it takes incredible
Yeah.
bursts of energy, and literally they have to compensate with so much caloric intake just to be able to do that. There's no way in hell a bull shark could pull that off.
So the first attack.
God, Malik's doing like triple
I know.
backflips.
I know. It's so sad.
I think that's Stuntman Malik.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuntman Malik.
So the first kill occurs in the pre-credit sequence, and it's early, and that doesn't even matter because it literally doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the movie.
And after her acting prowess, I kind of wanted her to get eaten.
Yeah, it was
she
fun with
annoyed
her,
me.
yeah.
I said, "Please, shark, eat this person."
You're just mad because she was bouncing and all you saw were her legs. That's what you're mad about.
Maybe
Well, and her hinder.
it's
She had a nice
subconscious.
hinder.
She did have a hinder. Is that what it's called? A hinder?
It's a family friendly. It's a fucking family friendly show.
That's what Jason and his friends used to call it. Oh, look at that hinder.
Oh yeah, look at that hinder there. That isn't half bad. You
Yes.
could bounce a quarter off that.
So
No, but so the first real proper attack of our story is Malik.
of the people that we actually give a fuck
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Well, let's not go crazy. Malik is attacked, presumably killed,
Until
Until he one-armed dog paddles
well,
Fast.
you don't know it,
faster than
Yeah.
a shark. That shark can catch a boat, but it can't catch a one-armed man.
No.
and it clearly was not eating his arm because
No.
Yeah, it's completely whole. Like
I think the shark was a little right. If you know what I mean? You know?
oh man.
well, he ate it and then spit it out.
Yeah. But the arm was perfect.
It really
It was like the shark had run up to him and chopped
surgically-
it off.
Like
Yeah,
surgically removed
yeah.
it. It was like, I'm going to preserve this for my Frankenstein's monster.
And let's be very clear that does get to
Grizzly. I can't bear to look at
Oh, I was like,
the
what?
bone coming out of his stump.
So let's get to what?
well what I think, and this is a movie with many stupid things in it, but
Oh.
the stupidest, the most dumbest thing in the movie though happens really early, and it's when Ted. So Malik has his arm ripped off or bitten off.
Yes.
Ted starts mactioning. He becomes a man of action.
Man of action.
So he actions all over the place by doing shit that I don't think would have any chance of saving anyone's life. But he looks busy. He looks like he's really trying to save.
Ted, you're the only one who knows what to do.
Oh my God, Ted!
Oh my God, Ted.
He's actually getting. He's not a medical doctor. He's a doctor in English.
He's a pre-med. He hasn't even taken his MCAT yet.
know.
I mean, I am as much a doctor as Ted
Ted,
is.
we don't have time for a tourniquet.
Yeah, that's right.
But Ted decides to jump into Lake Pontchartrain, or whatever they call it in this movie.
Lake Crosby.
Lake Crosby. Lake Stills Nash Young.
Lake Bing.
So Ted
Nice.
decides he's going to save Malik's arm. Now, Malik was a few hundred yards offshore, attacked by a shark, swam back, and collapsed on the beach. Ted jumps into the water
Right off the dock.
right off the dock to try to find a severed arm.
No goggles, nothing to help
No
him
goggles.
see in that brackish water.
No nothing. Yeah, but the water is very clear.
Oh, yes.
You noticed that?
Yeah.
And like you said, that arm was better preserved than some of the items on the Titanic,
Yeah.
Jason.
I have lost a boat anchor before in like 5 feet of water and not been able to find the damn thing.
Yeah.
Okay, this is impossible.
Yeah, I counted myself lucky in Florida when the water was clear as crystal. I dropped my glasses, but I still found them.
You know, that actually makes me think though. Whatever happened to the arm?
Oh, they strapped it to him. They were going to attach it back
It was
on.
so when he got eaten for reals, the arm was strapped.
For
to him.
reals, for
Yes.
reals.
For reals, for reals.
For keeps.
For keeps.
You
Yeah.
could have at least
No
dropped the
backsies.
arm as a,
Yeah.
as
No
a
armsies, I
diversionary
think.
measure.
That would have been so badass.
Yeah.
Take your own arm and throw
beat
it to
the hell-
divert the shark.
No,
Get the
beat
Rolex
the hell
off,
out of the shark
then you
with
throw
it.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Fuck you, bitch.
Oh, but yeah, Ted.
There he is. Ted's in the water.
Seriously, Ted is just.
I didn't know what he was. I thought maybe he was trying to figure out what kind of shark it was.
Oh, no.
No, Ted didn't see any of it happen because he was driving the boat, so he was facing away from Malik. He even thought that because the other kid in the
they
crew
were-
was accusing him
they were
of
blaming
having
him of hacking.
I
run
want to
over
know where
Malik
they
with the boat.
I want to know. They must have filmed this in a tank and just poured gravel.
Yeah.
and put some stuff.
Oh, that's
down.
how a lot of it works. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, tons of movies that use
Yeah,
water
but,
like
but
that.
they have bigger. Well, I was going to say bigger budgets. But for 25 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
For all
We
the
could- we could
CG
make
that
a
was in
pretty
this.
damn
Oh,
good
and
film
like
for
his
20
arm is
We
just,
can make $1 million movie and then screw the investors out of $24 million.
Seriously.
Yeah. By the way, we're going to do a Kickstarter.
because I wonder how much I wonder how much these actors make.
Oh no,
'cause
it's a tiger mako great leopard
Bull
nurse
shark.
bull.
It just like none of these sharks are. And they now Ted is swimming with one arm because he's holding the arm with his other arm, and somehow all of these guys are out swimming sharks with one arm.
You know, it'd be really classic if he was swimming with one arm and then flapped his arm as the other.
Oh my God.
That would have been. I would have been the director. I would have had some outtakes with that shit.
That would have been fantastic.
This movie actually would have worked incredibly well as a comedy.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
It would have been. It would have been an
I want to
awesome
see the
comedy.
outtakes. Like I really do because I'm sure these kids had a ball doing this movie.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh, they were hooking up with each other. I bet. Don't you think?
Yeah, they were. I suspect that they were all, probably except for the guy who played Ted, complete pricks to each other.
oh.
I mean, I know in my limited experience, it's basically a bunch of assholes trying to one up each other the whole time, you know, and
Kind of like us.
yeah.
Well, we already know who won
we're a
that
bunch
race,
of pricks.
gentlemen.
So.
But we accept that and appreciate it about each other.
Now
That's the difference.
as much as I hate to tear ourselves away from this for
We
even a second,
have to
Is it
take a
time?
break
It is
before
time.
this next
yeah,
segment.
we do have to take a break. So we will be back in about 1 second, and we're back.
Hello, hello.
Yes, we are.
We're back, and
It's all
we're
good.
continuing to watch a movie.
It's ridiculous.
Now we got our first real hard kill coming up,
Yes, we do.
because so far Malik isn't dead.
Yeah,
Right.
he's been amputated.
Yes. In movies, it's very easy to fall out of boats. I don't think I've ever fallen out of a boat before.
I have, but I've fallen like off the back of a boat. I've never fallen out where I've been seated.
Yeah, yes. If you're standing up, I could see.
If you're
like
standing
yeah,
up,
I
yeah.
could see it,
And I
but-
was on the platform, so and
Yeah,
the
that
boat
makes-
just
that
kind of
makes
lurched,
sense,
and
yeah.
and it's slick back there, and I was barefoot, so I lost my
Yeah.
footing and fell in.
Because
but
there's like stuff to hold on to in most boats. There's like cleats and shit that you can kind of, if just something
you can usually
bumping
brace
the boat.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, but in movies, people fall out of boats for like no reason.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like how, cars in 70s movies explode for no reason.
Well, the boat explodes,
Yes, it does.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it runs into the gas pump.
but
And
yeah, it does. That's true.
to be
You're
fair,
right.
so
Yes.
in this instance, it made sense.
Yeah.
Just like how the helicopter exploded in Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
That made sense too. But
Oh, yeah.
So they're trying to get Malik, hindsighters, away to the hospital.
yes.
The shark bumps the boat, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and his girlfriend falls overboard.
And somehow the shark,
Is like now 100 yards away.
yeah, and the shark breaks the boat.
It's
Because
smoking.
Sarah runs over it just like she ran over her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, and the way the movie explains it is the throttle gets stuck.
Because
and
the
the
shark,
steering.
because the shark
And the
gumps
steering.
up the boat. Like it just, I don't.
There's a key you turn,
Why? Oh,
and the
cooler.
motor.
That's what happened to the arm. His arm was in the cooler that they threw.
Oh, okay.
Because
God damn, that was a big explosion.
yeah, it was. That was delicious. But yeah, so they wind up back at the house because
Where
Sarah-
they're all sitting on beach chairs enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna
I
do?
know, what are you
We're
gonna do?
here. Like, hey, how about a rousing game of Uno?
Yeah.
Like what?
You guys are banging? Well, I mean, what else were we going to do?
We're appreciating the life that God gave us. This whole accident put this into sharp perspective. Or
How
shark
awful must
perspective.
it be for an actress? And I mean, look, this is my Me Too moment, but it's like I'm looking at everyone on set filming. The cast and crew are wearing cargo shorts and a shirt. Everyone's dressed up. The guys are in shorts. That's fine.
Yeah.
And they're wearing bikinis. It just seems like the most uncomfortable environment to
Yep.
try to act and do shit in.
Oh yeah,
Throw a
like
T-shirt over.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be as titillating.
I know.
And that's
Yeah, that's the movie.
Hollywood.
that's why I didn't want to be an extra in some Zac Efron movie. I think that they were doing down in Savannah,
Whatever.
where you'd have to be
Whichever
in bathing
one.
suits. As an extra, I was like, I'm not burning to a crisp every day in a freaking bikini. That's just not
for
happening.
$50.
No, absolutely
You show
not.
up in one of those like 1920s.
Look like Sweeney Todd's girlfriend.
So the Malik's
Okay,
girlfriend.
so she does throw on a wrap.
And Malik
Yeah.
loses his arm permanently. Was it in a cooler?
That's what we're thinking. That
I
it was
thought
in
they
the.
strapped it to
Maybe
him.
they did. Maybe
Let's-
the cooler.
let's
No,
keep
maybe
an eye
they-
open.
'cause
Well,
they
you know
did-
what? Coolers float.
They brought it with them off the boat. That was the reason why she flung it before they jumped, because they were trying to preserve his arm. So maybe
Right.
they saved it. So it's possible.
Are there subtitles still?
Oh, and you got to love that
yeah,
Ted's
let's do it.
Ted's hoodie is just strategically zipped down to reveal his
Yeah, it's
pecs.
his awesome chest.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, it's
They
not.
all are very well built.
Well,
the subtitles
I
are.
think that's a requirement for a
Except
movie
the
like this.
The nerdy dude has a bit of a sunken chest.
Okay, he's got a
Aw.
double barrel shotgun. He shot it once, and he shot it twice.
shot
'cause
it
no,
a couple of
because they
times.
heard it. That's why we cut to outside. So he has no shells in the shotgun.
And who happens to be driving by but Sarah's ex-boyfriend
Yeah.
and his
Cletus.
Yeah, Cletus the slack-jawed yokel.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, the Backwater Boys to the rescue.
I can see my mom from here.
You smell like the inside of my mama's purse.
So, but no, this is important though because he has a double barrel shotgun. He fired it. He fired it again. And then when the bad guy gets the shotgun and points
Turns
it
it
at
on
him,
him.
he pees his pants thinking he's about to die. Does he not know how 2 works?
He models nude for money. Are we really banking on this man's intelligence?
I know, but it's like
It's
he
a
had,
pump action double barrel. No kidding.
Boys love pump action.
Oh, Roland from Schitt's Creek is going to kill him. I wish it was Roland. I wish it was.
It would have been
what's
such a
his
better
name?
movie.
Crap. Look it up.
Damn it.
Look it up. What is the deal with the guy's teeth?
They're sharpened to fangs.
Why is there a thing?
Marquis de Sade.
But I mean, is there like
He's a historian. He understands Hungarian
Elliott.
history.
Chris Elliott? Yes.
That's not Chris Elliott, is it?
No. That's
he
what we're saying.
wishes it
Yeah, I
was.
wish it was
Yes.
Chris Elliott because he played the mayor in Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
But no, but the guy has teeth that are sharpened to points.
Which we discussed in Sleepy Hollow. Wouldn't that hurt
Oh, yes.
a lot?
You'd
Yeah.
hit a
God.
nerve. You'd hit a nerve.
Yeah, teeth.
Several.
Yeah, you don't have to go that deep in a tooth before you hit pulp.
Yeah.
You know,
And that ain't fiction.
get out.
Get out of my house.
Get the fuck out of my house.
We
Oh
love
no,
Harrison
sad
Ford.
news.
Yeah.
Harrison
speaking of
Ford,
which.
Indiana Jones 5. I say sad, but it's not. because I don't want that movie to ever come out. Apparently,
it in
his
the vault.
shoulder injury was much worse than previously reported.
I thought
Yeah,
you were going to
he's
say
gonna-
he died.
No,
No.
he's going to
don't wanna
require
hear-
surgery though.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll be
At
out for
78?
months. 78, yeah.
Yeah.
And shoulder surgery at 78, he ain't going to be playing golf anymore.
No.
Yeah.
And he should just stop flying planes. Didn't he
Get
learn
off
from John
that plane.
Denver?
Well, I mean,
And
most.
of course, Joe Lara. You got to learn from these people.
Well, to be fair, he only crashed one,
Okay.
okay, and he walked away from it.
Third one is the charm, I guess.
Yeah.
He's got
Oh
another
dear
one.
God.
Yeah, so Harrison Ford and Joe Lara technically have crashed the same number of planes.
Okay, this is where chivalry kills the nerdy guy. Spoiler alert. And
Oh, yeah.
the girl, what's the
Catherine McPhee.
Catherine McPhee? The skanky one deserves to die because she chooses the backwater yokels, the sketchy as all get out yokels, over her friends who still desperately need her help. Like they can use any help they can get, and she's just too
I'm
creeped
outta
out,
here.
and she's like, I'm out of here. I have to go. I can't be here anymore. And she abandons him, the nerdy guy, out of an act of chivalry.
No.
No,
goes
he's
with her.
horny.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to paint it in a. No, he did say he was like, these two guys are creepy as
No.
hell. I'm not leaving her alone with them.
Didn't care. If they were both, clean cut,
He was thinking the
blonde-haired,
long
blue-eyed.
game.
Yeah,
the
he'd be
long
like,
game.
they're a little shady.
Yeah.
I got to ride with them so I could ride on her.
Oh, here's the
Oh,
reverse
my.
Brian song.
Aw.
They're pulling a reverse Brian song, Jerry.
Except I'm pretty sure Malik could kick cancer's ass because
Yeah.
he's
Oh, man.
he's awake and aware and completely not like moaning in pain or miserable, despite the fact that they don't have any morphine. The best they could possibly have on that island is like aspirin,
Booze.
booze. Yeah, maybe.
But again, blood. None of it.
yeah,
None.
he was lost about a gill. Barry,
Yeah,
what's a gill?
Most
talking in circles, buddy.
Yeah, most people when you lose an arm,
Shock
shock.
and awe.
Yeah, but few people in shock build a spear and then go fight a hammerhead shark and kill the shark.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
imagine if he wasn't in shock. What he would have
Yeah.
just he would
And
have
then-
killed the shark with his mind powers.
Wrestles the shark, doesn't get so much as but maybe a little cut on him after wrestling with a friggin' shark, and
And
you
it's a
know,
hammerhead. The poor hammerhead would have just gone away.
Yeah.
The hammerhead would, I don't want to have anything to do with this.
Come on, most of the sharks would have gone away.
Yeah, they all would have.
Well, because that's the thing.
They would have all promptly fucked off and gone and eaten a nutria.
Well, we discussed this off camera before Adam got here. Like, none of these sharks are special. All they have are cameras strapped to them.
Let's go and rip that Band-Aid off. Why don't
Yeah.
you tell us we know that sharks in the water, our sharks, and they're eating people. Let's go ahead and tell the good folks at home what the ish of the plot is.
So the bad guys, who, spoiler alert, turn out to be the yokel sheriff and Sarah's ex-boyfriend and his sharp-toothed, snaggletooth buddy, they're making money on YouTube by strapping cameras to sharks and staging shark attacks where people die and they make money off of it and their justification is that
Snuff.
Shark Week, man.
Yeah, that's literally, and that's not hyperbole. Literally, their justification is that Shark Week is very popular.
People
so
love that morbid violence.
So yeah, because
And they only make $12 an hour.
yeah.
Yes.
They could beat that in YouTube if they get over 1,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think probably YouTube might pull those videos down. I don't know.
Well,
I
and he
feel
even
like-
mentioned something to that effect where Shark Week got in trouble or something. I wasn't really paying attention because they had one really gnarly attack that showed, and he's like, and kids can look up beheadings and all this crazy shit online.
What,
for
could
free.
what could they look
Yeah.
up? What was the film that he spoke of?
I don't remember.
Faces of Death.
Remember
Do you-
that?
you remember
I
that one?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that movie is.
Oh,
It was a scandal.
yeah. It was like banned in 40
Yeah.
countries.
Yes.
Go ahead and look it up.
My-
My friend
yeah.
Hugh had a copy of it.
What's it called?
Faces of Death. And I bet you could probably watch it.
You
on
probably
YouTube
it
right
was
now.
almost all fake.
Really? No,
Yeah.
I think it was all real. I thought it was all real.
that it was hyped as all real. There were some real things in it, but a lot of it was
Okay.
fake. A lot of it was,
I believe it.
because but I know because my brothers both snuck out and they saw it at the little dollar theater that played it, and they, and of course you come back and they're all, their chests are puffed up. Yeah, we saw it. Yeah, but it was no big deal.
Okay,
Didn't scare me.
Well, anyway, that's the whole claim to be.
Faces of Death was a movie that purported to show it was a snuff film.
Yes.
No,
Do you know what a snuff film is?
Yes. It is. Okay.
She should.
One of the most depraved films ever. A shockumentary full of autopsies, plane crashes, and executions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, to be fair, I mean, you can go on YouTube and see a lot of pretty gnarly stuff, but
Yeah, I mean, like, you see that some of those poor journalists and people getting beheaded in the Middle East, like you see.
but they take those videos down though.
I know they do,
You can't
but-
actually go on YouTube and find a beheading.
Yeah,
But this was before they were bought by Facebook. Who were they bought by Facebook?
Google.
Google. And before they were bought by Google, maybe they had more liberties. You know? Who knows?
Anyhow.
Maybe.
So, yeah, that's what the bad guy's motivation is, money.
So what do? What is their plan?
So they strap cameras to sharks and put the sharks in a saltwater bayou.
Which we don't have saltwater lakes.
No, like,
That's fake?
yeah, we don't have. Yeah.
imagine.
But here's the thing, though. They do the Noah thing, except Noah got 2 of each. They somehow, like, go out and get a hammerhead, a tiger,
4 bull.
a great white shark. You know,
A sand tiger shark, which they mistakenly
Yeah.
call a tiger shark.
Yeah, well, they're idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, I was expecting at one point because they open like the cage, you know, and let the great white out.
Yeah,
and
because none of the other sharks are in a cage. Why is the great white in a cage?
it's like the Rancor. You got to save it. You know, it's the final event. You know, you got to watch all those bullshit fights until the big. You know,
The big
Until
finale.
Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker comes along
you know. I mean, I was
with
expecting.
his Zippo lighter.
Yeah.
And you know, they could make a lot more money if it got out that they were absolutely, or they actually had a great white shark.
No
in
shit.
captivity,
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah. There would be
No one
people-
else has been able
No
to do
one's
that.
done that. Yeah.
Never.
And they make millions.
Yeah. I was expecting at some point, you know, Jabberjaw.
That is a-
They open a cage up and Jabberjaw walks out.
Great ape. Great ape.
But yeah, so the great white is in a cage that's barely bigger than it is. So there's that.
And
But-
there's like another guy who opens the cage. It's not Toothy McGee.
No, and it's not the sheriff.
It was
because-
another
They have
guy.
Yeah, it was
another
some
accomplice?
Yeah.
He must have been written out of the movie from some other scene or whatever, because there was another accomplice.
Yeah, there was another guy there doing it, you know, and you know, I kind of feel like this is a major operation, you know. I think marine biologists would want to ask them, "How did you do this?"
Yeah.
We spend our whole careers trying to do shit like this, you know.
It's hard enough to keep animals even in a pristine facility like Georgia Aquarium. So, gentlemen, we
Yeah.
have to acknowledge the sad news this week, because hindsighters, the day after we left the aquarium, poor Trixie, the longest living
Alice.
Oh, Trixie, sorry, that was before. Alice, the longest living whale shark resident of the Georgia Aquarium, passed away. And we got to see her on
We were there. Yeah, we
her
were there
very
the
last day.
Yeah.
I thought she was acting strange, though, a little bit. I was watching her.
Well, and Michael even noted that the cloud was, or there was a particularly,
was really cloudy,
it was
yeah.
really murky, and that actually happens. I don't know if y'all keep fish, but when they start to get sick or go downhill, their water, it starts to get kind of murky and cloudy like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe it's the lighting, because they adjust it, you know, depending on different factors. But
You really couldn't see very far into that tank.
you couldn't. You can normally see almost all the way to the other side of it, but yeah, that he called it. So
Yeah, he did.
But even my friend Michelle, who used to work at the aquarium, she said that Alice was behaving very oddly and not swimming the normal way that she typically does. And I guess she's just used to watching her so much that she noticed the difference. But poor Alice.
Well, you know, and we take our hats off, and let's remember that she got many extra years.
Yes, because she was actually destined to go to the seafood market in Taiwan, and they rescued her. The Georgia Aquarium did, and gave her a better life than I would imagine most people have.
Asia, please stop eating all of our really nice fish.
Yeah, seriously.
Please.
Stop spear
farming
fishing
the fins,
dolphins.
That's the worst.
Oh, that makes me sick.
yeah.
If I would like to find somebody who does the fin thing
And cut their arms and legs off.
Yeah, and then
just
throw
kinda-
them in the water.
Dump them in the water.
Yeah.
Well, if this movie is any indication, they'll still be able to swim.
Hey,
and
they're
kill a
not
shark.
they're not Malik though.
That's true.
And
He's
even
Superman.
Malik got eaten by a shark.
That's true. Well, Malik sacrificed himself to a shark. Malik's not going down.
And inadvertently killed the guy. He was sacrificing himself to save.
But don't these sharks ever get full?
You
No.
would think, right?
Yeah.
Well, because sharks are kind of like big cats in that way. They eat once and then it satisfies them for quite a while. They don't have to hunt constantly.
Well, that's the thing. They open the cage for the grand finale. They open the cage of the great white, and the great white immediately goes into murder mode.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and let's get back to that point.
And specifically goes for someone in a fucking cage instead of all the critters living in this water.
Yeah, she doesn't go after Ted, she goes after Sarah.
Right.
But and then she gets the Adonis guy on his seat too, which is the most amazing death. Besides Gordon, the nerdy kid, he gets thrown in the water by the yokels. He manages to swim away from the shark.
Shot.
He gets shot, and somehow he can't swim like Malik can. My God, all you've got is like this little pea shooter.
Well, people in this movie, you know, I mean, like that, like
Injury.
The Toothy McGee gets stabbed, and it's like goes
Oh,
in
yeah.
a
Yeah.
good 4
No
inches.
problem, because he's a
A
redneck.
little bit of blood.
Yeah.
Ruined his shirt. Yeah, that was his Columbia.
His mama ain't gonna be
yeah.
able to get that out.
He got
In the
blood in
wash.
his Tony Llama boots, you know, and that was about it for people in Louisiana. You know what I'm talking
Meanwhile,
about.
Malik can one-handed spearfish
Yeah, he's-
a giant hammerhead shark.
Yeah.
And
At least a good 6 or 8 hours after he loses his arm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing that he's even conscious.
Aspirin
Yeah.
is an amazing.
It's a hell of a drug, Pete.
Yes, it
but
is.
Well, he's rampage.
But-
you know, he's in
yeah.
rampage mode.
but rampage. I've got a shark full of rampage right here. But I think
Poor
Gordon,
Hammerhead.
yeah, is getting his ass right in the head and ass, just getting beat down.
Right. Yeah.
Right in the head and ass. But I think Gordon dies one of the more interesting deaths because the shark jumps up when he's in a tree. He's like a cat just hanging onto a little
Yeah.
tree branch.
Air Jaws.
And Air Jaws jumps up and just bites the hell out of him. It was a very Samuel L. Jackson, Deep Blue Sea kind of moment. But getting back to that point, these sharks aren't altered in any way. They're not genetically modified like the sharks in Deep Blue Sea.
No.
They're not specially trained for anything.
They seem to be.
They just have a taste for people
Yeah.
in particular. Like
Yeah.
they hone in on a person the very second
Well, and
they hit the water.
What's funny about it is that the sort of the logic behind it is that if you have this body of water and you have these sharks in it, they'll kill people who go in it. And it's almost like these people who wrote the movie have never heard of this place called the ocean. I know people who have been in the ocean and didn't get eaten by sharks. I swear.
Even when
Seriously.
the shark was a few feet away.
I am telling you, I know people who've actually gone in that ocean and didn't immediately get attacked by sharks.
How is
and
that
eaten.
possible?
I'm telling you, I've seen it.
I mean, we didn't get eaten, but
they
we
didn't
did
attack
have.
our cage or anything. They were
No.
actually quite peaceful.
They came
Yeah.
to check us out, and they'd make eye contact.
The
and,
tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tigers were pretty curious.
I did love the tiger.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
amazing.
awesome.
I made a
Show
new friend.
him how far away that tiger was from you.
About as far away as Mr.
Yeah.
Brown is from me right now.
Maybe a little closer even.
Possibly.
Yeah, he was right there.
Objects in mirror are closer than they appear.
Yeah.
But yeah, she circled around several times. Mwah. So I made a new girlfriend at the aquarium. And
Oh, she's gay.
we just got married. But yeah, so
It's like Tina and the robot shark.
oh god, it's just misunderstood.
Yeah.
It just wants its kids
babies back. Yeah.
But that was the most exciting part for me, was seeing the tigers up close, because when you go see the gallery at the aquarium, the tigers actually tend to hover toward the top of the exhibit,
Yeah.
so you can't see them terribly well from just the perspective of the gallery.
Yeah, you've got to be one of the chosen few.
You gotta be one of the badasses.
One of the elites who gets in the water with the sharks.
You got to be one of the Maliks who triple sow cows into that cage.
Two kinds of people in the world: people who've been in the water with the sharks, and people who haven't.
And we are.
And we are in that latter
There's the
part.
kitty cat.
Oh, the Gordon the kitty cat
He's
climbing the
hanging from
tree.
a tree.
Here's the
Look, he's-
wind up and the
completely
pitch,
out of the
and it's a home run. I actually wish that the shark would have gotten stuck in a tree.
That would have been funny.
That would have been so Sharknado.
Yeah.
Teeth
Yeah.
were stuck in there.
Like how they get stuck in on like stop signs and stuff in
Yeah.
Sharknado.
And then it falls
Yeah.
down, and the dentures are
Yeah.
stuck into the tree. That would have been great.
Bust through windows and wind up in the bullpen like of a building. But yeah, what I love is that they drag the great hammerhead onto the beach. Like they kill it in the water, but they go to the trouble of dragging it up onto the sand. What is that?
I also probably, if I had a friend of mine who had lost an arm, and then his soon-to-be fiance was eaten by a shark, and then he had gone out and fought a shark to avenge her death and killed it with a spear after wrestling it. If I noticed it wasn't the same shark, I'd have kept it to myself.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I wouldn't have been like, dude, that's one the right shark, man.
Okay. Be like, no, you accomplished it. You
The
did
fuck you mean it wasn't the right? God damn it. Back
Give
in
me
the
that
water.
spear.
I'm gonna kill every fucking shark in this water.
Hold my tourniquet.
Yeah.
God.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
about
I would have.
I've been like, wow, you got it, dude.
got it,
Let's
dude.
get back to bed.
Yeah,
Let's rest
yeah.
a little bit.
And then
You honored her memory.
quietly,
Until daybreak, maybe.
Yeah.
Let the other team members know. Oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't.
So it can be Shark Day.
Because they're just now discovering that there's more than one shark, period. They think that it's just one shark terrorizing the bayou. And that's why Nick points it out. He's like, no, this wasn't the same shark. So that's when they start to figure out that there's a bigger issue going
Yeah.
on.
You know, and actually, now that I think about it, really, Malik gets everybody killed. Because,
You tell.
well, think about it. If Malik hadn't gotten his arm, selfishly had his arm bitten off.
You self-centered a-hole.
Yeah, if he hadn't been so selfish.
He throws balls far. You want good words? Data language.
But if he hadn't done that, they all would have just been inside the house doing drugs, getting drunk, and getting laid.
And getting pregnant. And
The end.
STDs.
And that would have been the movie. But because of him,
Showboating.
he's
Showboating.
showboating.
Yeah.
He's out there doing his flips and shit. And now they've got to keep going out in the fucking water.
Yeah.
You know? Because that's the thing.
Well, there's got to be a driving force behind that.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's... And it makes sense from writing. I mean, I agree. But the thing about sharks is that they're easy to defeat. Just don't go in the water. They're basically powerless.
They're not the dolphins from The Simpsons.
That's what
My
the guy in
God.
the tree thought.
That's true. That's true.
And the guy on the jet ski.
Yeah, he
a
thought he
flying
was
shark
safe.
took him out. So
Yeah.
you're wrong, Jason. You're wrong with the capital W.
Yeah, you're just trying to apply logic where there's no
Well-
logic to be found.
Excuse me.
Now, I do have a huge problem with this whole scene.
Oh, that's thunder.
Wow, thunder and lightning. Very, very frightening. I do have a huge problem with the scene
We went
where...
to two very different songs.
Yeah, where Catherine McPhee is abused and then murdered, and that is there's nothing redeeming about the scene. There's no she is literally just abused and then murdered,
Yeah. And
and there's no. At some point, there should have been someone avenging her specifically, because she really gets the most. She
Yeah,
gets
she
the
dies
worst.
the hardest.
She gets the hardest death, and
She-
it's the worst death.
she gets eaten by the cookie cutter sharks, which is basically the shark version of a compy from Lost World. Because she dies the
Piranha.
Yeah, like she
in the
definitely dies
Amazon.
the worst death. Oh, and we did see the piranhas at the aquarium.
Yes.
Jason was very excited about that. But
What are they cookie cutter? Are there really cookie cutter sharks?
yes, it's a real thing.
And they take little
That when
cookie
they
cutter bites out
when
of
they
you?
bite you, yeah, when they bite their prey. That's why.
But aren't they mainly scavengers though?
Not really, because scientists have seen animals with their odd shaped bites marked in them, because the cookie cutter doesn't necessarily have to take down its prey in order
I
to
don't
get
like
its
this
fill.
scene. This scene comes across to me as just exploitation.
Well, duh. I mean, it's
it-
basically like a teen slasher movie with sharks.
I know, but this scene to me, this scene made me not like the
Called
movie.
photophores.
You lost it. at
Yeah,
this point.
it was a fun, stupid B movie, and I was okay, it's goofy, and then it's like,
then it's
no.
It got a little too rapey and creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that would have made it worse is if they had raped her. That's literally, and I was half expecting them to do something like that.
Yeah, because they do make her take her clothes off, and that don't even give her the dignity of dying with her clothes on.
I mean, I think if I was her and I was looking at that, bunch of, sharks in the little container thing, I would have just hauled my ass in the water and swam for it.
Yeah, because you've got a better shot against maybe one or two sharks out in the open than you do against being thrown into a cage with a bunch of cookie cutters.
I mean, they couldn't have shot you. You go 1 foot under the water, you can't shoot somebody,
Well, in the movies you can, Jason.
Well, that's true.
As we learned from
that's true.
conspiracy
That's true.
theory.
In the movies, you can. Yeah, that's true. No, but this scene, I don't like it.
That's horrible.
I would have, if I'd been the executive producer, I would have just, no, this one's not coming in.
Cookie cutter shark.
Oh, they do look darling. Oh God, I just want to hug them.
Just want to pet one.
They're cute.
Yeah, they're cute.
Yeah.
But
I always
don't
hate.
know.
I always hate that. What makes me lose it is when the good guy gets a gun and then just doesn't start
and
pulling the trigger.
completely fails to use it. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
2 shots, it would have been the end of the movie.
He was awfully
Exactly.
good with that Zippo, though.
Yeah.
Well, and a subsequent, we're actually burning through this movie.
Yeah, we are.
because it's 90 minutes, but there's credits. So
Oh, right. So yeah, 78.
Yeah, we're
minutes.
nearly to the end.
Yeah. No, this scene doesn't. This is
I'd give her kudos for this death scene, though. She does some pretty good acting in it. Like, when you have to, anytime you act with CG, it's got to be some sort of challenge because the objects aren't really there, and you've
they just told her go down there and
wiggle,
flail.
wiggle.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys hated that aspect of it, but it is a pretty rough scene, and it's utterly gratuitous, like you said, Jason. It's murder porn. Let's
go through. Because as it turns out, there are 3 principal bad guys.
Yes, and then
You think there are 2, but then surprise, surprise, the dopey sheriff.
Switch.
Yeah, bait and switch again.
thank God he's such a raging alcoholic.
Yeah.
And even like the poor dog takes abuse too because the sheriff drugs the dog
I hate
He didn't
that
mean
part.
to. To his credit, he didn't mean to drug the dog. The thermos fell over.
Yeah, he meant to drug Nick.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a scene where they just said throw the dog over or something? I hated that.
Oh my God, I was so pissed. I was
But
like,
the
if that
dog
dog
lived.
dies,
it does.
But the dog lives.
Yeah,
and helps out in the end.
He does. He
Which
helps
I
get Sarah
love.
to shore, and then he starts making fun of Nick for not knowing how to do proper CPR. He's like, dude, I saved the entire day. You better know how to revive my mom. I'm telling you.
So the sheriff, as it turns out, is a bad guy.
He's a stew.
Yeah,
And for
he-
those of
yeah.
you who've seen the Tao of
Yeah.
whatever the Tao of Steve will understand that it's Donald Logg who is a stew in this. He's not a Steve. He's
No,
a stew.
he is definitely not a Steve.
Well, and like the sheriff is kind of dopey at the end of it because if he really wanted Nick out of the way, I guess they did have plans for
It's
him
like
to be
a
in one of their
Batman.
videos as well.
It is. It's
very
Batman.
James Bond.
It's James Bond.
Right.
And he literally explains his entire
The
plan.
entire thing. Like, why do you care? And I'm gonna throw you into the cage.
Well,
and this
they
is
only
what's gonna
have
happen.
they only have 2 choices in a movie like this. Either the bad guy has to explain everything to the hero, or the hero has to pick up something and immediately connect all the dots and go, "My God, don't you see what this means? They're filming videos and putting them on the internet."
That's why I really respected the Hunger Games because the books are all.
You're the first person to ever say that.
No, I'm not. No, some people were angry with the adaptation of the Hunger Games because it wasn't first-person perspective. Because in the books, it is. You're hearing.
Yeah, but then they
Katniss's-
hit puberty and they got over it.
No, but you're hearing Katniss's perspective from her own mind, and then in the movies they didn't do that. They had to give you actual, context of what was happening so that you could figure it out on your own if you didn't know the books. But in the books, she was drawing everything together, like, oh, the game makers are doing this and they're manipulating me to go here. Like, but with this kind of movie, they don't really have that kind of skill set or that kind of budget.
It's a difficult thing to do. That's like one of LJ and I to this day. One of our favorite bits is if you ever see the David Lynch Dune.
Yes.
Dune, there's a lot of internal monologue in Dune because it's a novel. It's a very real, very good novel. And they accomplished that in Dune by just literally having a character sort of look and you just hear them thinking.
Right.
And so, like one of our favorite things to do is, could he be the one? You just cover your mouth, but.
And they could have easily, found a different route for this plot. Like Sarah could have caught one of the 3 of these guys that she thinks she can quasi-trust that she grew up around watching the videos and like, I don't know, something like that. She just happens upon it when they're seeking help from Malik. Who knows?
Yeah,
But-
and I like how the cop has a Walmart 2-way Cobra radio that,
It's easily
yeah.
commandeered by
Yeah.
one of the antagonists.
By Sarah Bear. And
Sarah Bear.
what I don't
Sarah Bear.
understand is the obsession with her. They treat her like she's a movie star when she comes back to town.
She betrayed them by going to college.
No, she betrayed the boyfriend by going to college. But why?
No, because
why does
he's
the sheriff give a crap?
the sheriff's got a chip on his shoulder about because he keeps talking about rich college kids. I'm like, dude,
That's right.
Have you met college kids?
Like-
half of them, 90% of them, the
worth-
last
are
thing
worth
that they
less.
are
Is
rich.
Worth less than you.
Yeah. Hey, are you in debt $300,000? Yeah. You're richer than me.
Yeah. Do you have a job? And
Are
do
you in
Yeah.
debt $300,000 and don't have a house?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
You have nothing.
or a car?
Do you get health care benefits? Because I don't.
Guess what? But yeah, there is that. They're harboring that resentment toward her bettering herself. They think that she's got some sort of complex about being superior to them, and she's not.
She's actually kinda cool.
Yeah, she's pretty mild mannered.
Yeah. But she she's no Sigourney Weaver, because Sigourney Weaver would
have kicked so much ass.
Well,
by now.
Sigourney Weaver would have made the connection, picked up the knife,
Already killed like 4
and instead
sharks.
of going,
yeah,
she just would have run in there and just put the knife in him.
yeah, she would have
You know.
beat some ass, and she would have already killed 4 sharks in the process.
I mean,
so
it's Sigourney Weaver. She's unstoppable.
She'd be all cut up
except
and-
in Cabin in the Woods.
oh, yeah. But yeah, so
But
now
she was kind of a bad guy in that. So.
but now everyone is dead except for the
Ted.
nude model Malik. Malik's not dead yet.
Oh, that's right. The nude. No,
wait,
Malik,
no,
Malik's dead.
oh,
yeah,
Malik's
Malik's
threw
dead.
himself off the
he
jet
was
ski.
he was facing away from the male
Sea-Doo.
model, and it's so clear that he just fell off a chair, and then they had to CG him falling off the Sea-Doo, and he was like, "Oh."
You hear the thump when he hits the floor.
And meanwhile,
See, that was that's where I thought it was 3D. The shark jumped right up and came.
Now
at the
that looked
screen.
like a great white.
yeah, it did.
But so did it go back to its cage?
I
'Cause
don't know.
Great whites are known to do that.
That well, they
like cows.
Yeah, they're like cows. You know, you just let them out to go feed, and then they come on back in. You give them belly rubs.
that's why you don't see
You
the
milk 'em.
gators.
Yeah,
The gators are like the collie dogs. They herd them back to the cage.
I like
Who
how
knows?
they, rip Ted's shirt open. So see a little bit more of that chest.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oil them up a little bit.
Now, so Ted is now being held hostage in a shack boathouse thing with a interesting sort of flip top glass thing that it seems like would kill small children because they would walk over it and the glass would break and
and they'd
whatever.
fall in and drown because
Yeah.
their little arms can't reach.
Yeah. So the plot is basically now we're gonna kill Ted and we're gonna kill
Sarah.
Sarah.
Barbie and Ken.
Yeah,
by
Barbie
putting
and Ken.
by putting her in a cage.
Yeah, that yeah.
Like
Well,
they-
a cage that was penetrable.
Yeah,
By
but
Ray
turns out,
White, an
yeah.
angry Ray White. He's angry.
But okay, you know what? We're actually over time and the movie's about to end, so let's
Take a break.
take a break.
Okay.
We'll be back in about 1 second.
Already.
And we're back, and
Hello.
we are mining the depths of what Google can tell us about what various people in this movie have been in.
Which is a surprising amount in some cases.
In some cases, yes. Scarface, Doodle, whatever.
Red.
No, not Red. He's
Oh, you're talking
No, Red is
about-
Toothy McGee.
Chris Carmack from the OC.
The OC. Don't call it that.
You can just say Orange County.
Yeah, and he.
You and your city, New York, the county, Orange County. We can never get it right with you.
It's almost
I'm a
like
woman.
It's almost like
What do you
women can't be
expect?
pleased.
No, that's a very true statement.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, the bad guys have decided that they're going to dispatch Ted by throwing him in a
In a tank
I was
with
gonna say
a
tank, but it's,
tiger shark. Well, it's contained somehow under the
Somehow.
dock because
they've
it's,
put some real money into this.
Yeah.
you know,
25 million.
yeah, 25 million.
You can
Yeah.
do that when, you've got a zillion YouTube followers watching your shark attack videos.
Don't they realize that you can be like Mr. Big or there's lots of people out there who have many more millions of followers and they don't have to commit felonies.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, we've lost
I don't think PewDiePie has ever killed anyone, as far as I know.
that we're aware of.
Yeah, that I'm aware
That
of.
scandal's going to come out in a few years.
Mr. Ballin has killed people, but that was in the line of duty
But
because he was in the Navy.
I mean, we've got to give it up for the dialogue in this movie, gentlemen, because we've lost all the
It's pretty
characters
good.
now except for Nick and Sarah. And so the Adonis guy who's modeling, one of his lines that I wrote down because it was so deliciously, disgustingly bad. He's rushing Malik on the Sea-Doo to help, and he goes, "Got a doctor coming out here who's gonna Humpty Dumpty your ass back together, okay?" It's not.
That's
it's,
what all the kids are saying.
It's not as good as tap dancing elephants. I will give you that, but it's pretty
you.
damn good.
Thank you, Jay.
If I directed this movie, I would have in the jet ski scene, I would have him say the whole tap dancing elephants soliloquy.
That would be awesome.
Soliloquy.
But Red, I think it's worthy of saying that Red, Josh is his real name, played the role of Josh in Blair Witch Project. He was one of the main characters in Blair Witch.
That's so funny
That's
because
amazing.
I got to rewatch Blair Witch now.
I haven't seen Blair Witch in probably 20 years.
I saw it the
in
one
theater.
time.
Yeah.
Like
In
in New York.
Yeah, I actually.
New York City.
I was. God damn it.
It is a requisite.
Yes.
I saw it in the city.
Yes.
I could
The
actually say
city.
New York. Proceed.
No, I told you my story about Blair Witch, how it was. It really didn't get a fair shake for me because none of us had seen it yet, and we were going camping on the winter solstice, and it was like, oh, let's watch something really scary and get all like spooked before we go camping. And so we watched the Blair Witch, and it was like 4 19-year-old dudes watching it all together.
Of course.
And it was like, that wasn't scary. No, it really wasn't. Oh, well.
Getting more seasick from the shaky camera.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, really. But yeah, so that shark is contained somehow because it keeps thrashing around underneath the dock.
Yeah.
But and Nick, as you brought up, Jason,
This is the sticking point for me. This is literally driving me nuts.
because you're right. I've been watching the movie again with you guys, and Nick's saving grace is the fact that he has a Zippo lighter because the sheriff has bound him to a chair and is going to dip him into the piranha pool with the shark.
And he has a zip tie.
His hands
big
are
old
zip
zip
tied
tie.
together, and
Yeah.
fortunately, in his bathing suit, he has a Zippo lighter and
A dry
Zippo lighter, which we have not seen at any point in this movie.
At no point, and I'm with you. I was watching
He doesn't
for it
light up.
specifically. They
Nothing.
never established that he had a Zippo.
For
in the
any
original,
reason.
Well, in the original, it was a 3-hour film.
Yeah. They must have cut the portion where he was grilling and
He had a whole Zippo bit.
I think it was during the chariot race that
Hey,
they
Sarah.
cut. You know,
I know you think I'm a nerd, but check out my Zippo tricks.
I've got a Zippo. I'm really badass.
I wear aviators. Oh wait, sorry, Mr. Brown.
Well, actually, no. There was a gay scene where he kept
Oh, this
Zippo
scene pisses me off.
up his butt. And it was big. Because, he was a doctor and he made a joke about
true.
things that they extracted from people's anuses. And he said, one of the things is a Zippo.
It would have been that, but no, it would have been that simple to make a stupid gag.
I know.
Why do you have a Zippo? Oh, I carry it with me. There, that's it.
It was my
Yeah.
dad's.
It's established.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
I mean,
It's my dad's from Nam.
yeah, because when you do it like
See, it's
this, he
engraved.
might as well have pulled out a pair of like Xuron's, scissors. Oh, I just have I have these with me.
But be
Switchblade.
careful with those. They
Yeah.
go off for like no
Yeah.
reason. Yeah. So, and meanwhile,
Sarah's got a gun.
Sarah
Sarah's
had a
got
gun.
a gun.
She literally sticks her hands. She could have backed off into the cage.
Oh, that annoys me so much.
And she reaches out the one gap,
Yeah.
and because women are famous for their upper arm strength in comparison to men, and she's holding the gun
naturally.
out, shaking like a leaf, and her boyfriend just takes it back, or her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you had the upper hand for
Well, she
approximately
sweet.
2 seconds.
She lures him in. She sweet talks him.
Yeah,
That was good.
Gets the gun, and then,
uses
like
her
you said,
feminine wiles.
forgets that one of the advantages, on the brochure for gun, it says that you can kill people at a distance.
Well, that
Armies don't run right up next to each other and
Anymore.
and just point the guns in their faces. You could back up and shoot him.
And then figure out how to get out of the cage.
Yeah. At that point, it's leisure.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. The boat's not
shoot your way out.
Yeah, shoot your way out.
But I mean, the lack of logic here is stunning because their plan to kill her is to put her in a cage and then put her in the water.
I was actually hoping that
they've been throwing everybody else bare ass into the water,
Yeah.
but not Sarah.
Yeah, I was actually hoping that one of you, because I was going to bring that up, and I was hoping that one of you would go, "Oh no, you must have missed that." They explained that
No.
this was no.
They filed through the bars 3/4 of the way.
And it, now
Yeah,
Nick is in the
something.
water.
The shark, the
Something,
advantage,
yeah.
right?
God, I guess that's the challenge in the YouTube video. It's like, see the shark break through the cage, assuming that it can, which it's not unheard of. Sharks have penetrated cages before, but
That's what we're gonna do when we put this video on YouTube. I'm gonna clickbait it. I'm gonna put in the description, woman eaten by shark.
jeez.
I'm just because that's the thing.
Let's just see how many likes or follows we get.
Yeah, most of YouTube is just clickbait.
Oh,
where they
well-
just lie about what's in the video and then it's something
Right.
completely different. Yeah.
And this is the most invincible Zippo lighter because once again, Nick just got dipped into the water,
Yeah.
and his Zippo's perfectly fine, and he burns through the plastic of
And the
his
hot
cable
plastic
ties.
drips on his hand, and he's strong enough,
Well,
tough enough.
the bad guys didn't search him. I mean, why would you?
I don't know.
Why would you search him?
You think he's bound up pretty good,
They're
but
bait and switch.
And also, okay, and guys, clear this one up for me. So Nick lights the Zippo after getting his hands free, and then he tosses it in the direction of the villain.
Where there's gasoline on the floor.
Was that established?
Yes.
That there was gas?
Yeah, the gas got knocked over.
Okay.
The gas was knocked over, yes.
And then the sheriff didn't smell it or stop it or do anything.
Well, he's an alcoholic. He's
Stood in
probably,
you're
too
right.
drunk to notice. And so he winds up in the tank and tries to beg for mercy for Nick, and who's just
No
like,
mercy.
nope.
See, and I actually didn't like this either. I wanted Nick to do something. If you're doing a cheeseball movie like this, give me a fucking one-liner. Give me something that's the, yeah, fuck yeah, Nick, but it's not. He just sort of stares. At least Sarah flips off the guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
She does get a bit of vengeance.
What happens to Red? I forget.
Red gets pushed in the water. He gets shot with a tranquilizer dart and falls into the water, and I believe he's eaten pretty quickly.
Okay. Yeah.
I know the shark who's insatiable. Insatiable.
Meanwhile, Nick has got a pretty badass dive. I mean, they show it twice. He jumps into the water like an Olympian.
Oh, yeah.
He is good in the water.
Well, he's good to a point.
Oh, because, no. Red, his friend shoots him.
Does he?
Yeah, because Nick actually grabs Red by the neck and is threatening to hurt him. I was like, no, that's not what, but his friend shoots him.
Just to show how ruthless he is. You think he's going to shoot Nick, but he shoots Red.
Exactly. And meanwhile, ex-boyfriend is like, we had some good times, Sarah. Peace out.
Yeah.
And he's such a dick. Like, he's even just going to let her drown at some point. Because instead of just being like, oh, I'm defeated, he actually cuts the cable to the cage, which is no mean feat.
No.
And he swiftly just severs it.
All those shark cages have a quick release drop to the bottom of the goddamn ocean
because that's what they're for.
That's a feature.
Yeah, just in case you want the real experience.
I'd be willing to bet they're probably not even on a hemp or nylon
Probably
line.
not. Probably not. Yeah.
Chain.
Yeah.
That is against safety
And he's got a
regulations.
tranquilizer dart to his head. Tranquilizer gun to his head.
Oh no! Don't shank me.
Oh no!
I might get high.
I know.
God.
You guys.
Yeah, and a lot of.
Oh, and the ex is such a dick. He even throws the chum like smack in Sarah's face, and she's just like.
Well, because
he throws a knife at Red, and Red falls into the water.
Well, I mean,
he kills him either way.
Look, I mean, this guy, he's got a right to be pissed off. She made him so hideous.
Yes.
No woman would ever touch him.
Look,
I mean,
what I have here.
Look at that. You have to live with that.
I'm the untouchable.
Yeah. I am not an animal.
He threw blankets over all the mirrors in his house.
Yes.
I'm hideous.
I'm hideous. Don't look at me.
Don't reveal my visage to
with
the
my
world.
perfectly chiseled face that has a little bit of makeup on it.
Because seriously, you don't even notice the scar until they bring it up later, and then they enhance it a little with makeup.
I didn't notice it.
He would have been sashimi if she had really hit him with a freaking boat propeller. My God.
Yeah.
3 times Nick dives into the water.
Oh, there he goes. Yeah,
He's got a boomstick with him now.
Yeah, the most powerful boomstick in the world.
And this is where you can also tell it's 3D because he puts the boomstick up and the brains come out at the camera. He blows the brains out of the shark.
Yes.
But there's no like fish head slowly spinning.
No, there's guts coming out.
Roly-poly fish heads. That's right.
This is no Jaws 3.
Here's
no Jaws 3.
They attempt a tender moment because the reason why Sarah cut the ex-boyfriend in the first place was because he wouldn't share his air with her. But Nick, when he's trying to rescue her, comes back because she's showing him, I can't breathe, I can't breathe.
It's the air out signal.
Yeah, and so he goes to the top and then brings her some, delicious carbon dioxide. Yeah, and it's a sweet gesture, but it's not really.
I know. I just imagine her going.
Do you understand? This is why you're failing med school.
Yeah. You're not going to be a people doctor, okay?
No, you're going to work on the dogs of Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, and that's where you're ended up.
That's the only place that'll take you.
I'm really buying into this being a prequel to Schitt's Creek.
No, it's great, isn't it?
This is the Ted origin story.
Oh, and then the scar is super visible at the end when they zoom in on the ex's face, and it's just like all puffed and crazy looking, and you're like, oh, I didn't see any of that.
And the dog
fetches the boomstick.
It's a good thing the dog didn't bite it like it, or like you see the
Yeah.
YouTube videos where the dog bangs the stick on stuff.
Like it goes off like a Roman candle. to
There's
the
just half a
side.
dog floating by.
Oh Jesus! But the dog fetches the
Pip-it.
stick because you think
Pip-it.
the dog at this point, because now it's sunup. The dog's been swimming around for like 2 solid hours.
Yeah.
This poor bastard.
No, he got up on the land. He already took a shit. He humped another dog.
Then he was like, "Oh, my mom's in trouble." Oh, but
Yeah.
see, the guts are sort of floating towards
Oh, yeah,
you,
that's
Jason, when,
3D.
Fish head.
Oh, yeah.
when Nick kills him.
Roly-poly fish head.
By the way, do you know Pippet, the dog in Jaws?
Oh, right.
I saw the other day. I don't remember the actual name of
May he rest
the
in
dog.
peace. Yeah, he's gone.
But when the owner, when Pippet, whatever the real name was, whenever he died, there's actually a tombstone, and it actually says Pippet, or the name and the years that the dog lived, and it says star of the movie Jaws.
Aww.
And I thought that's pretty awesome.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, this dog is the real hero. Look at him.
Saving.
He's
Yeah,
helping to save
really
his
not
body.
helping very much, but I appreciate it.
My tombstone will say bit roll and strike zone. I'm looking forward to it.
That's not what your
I really hope
tombstone's going to say.
I really
Mr.
hope
Brown.
tombstones don't list our accomplishments.
It'll be a very small
Podcaster.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the most action that Nick really gets because he does get a kiss off the girl at the end, but this is the CPR that he's performing on her.
Oh, is that what he was doing?
Yeah.
If you squint your eyes a little bit.
Yeah, I always love movie CPR because movie CPR is always like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, that's
no, if you're not
accurate.
cracking ribs, you ain't doing it right.
Oh God. But yeah, just breathe. It's okay. It's over. It's over. And this movie,
But
but
he
got
turns
into a
out, it turns out that he's a shark.
yes,
He was working for the sharks the whole time. Bait and switch.
Bait.
Well, I noticed when after he brought her around, his hands did brush her breasts quite a bit,
After she came, too.
too. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that
raising
second
first
word.
boom.
Not also.
But then, of course, so the hero gets a kiss
As
off the
well.
girl, and then the great white is lunging toward them at the end. You don't see them get eaten, but sequel. So, and there are sequels to this movie.
There
Are there? What?
There's at least
You're
one.
kidding me.
Oh, my God. Midday.
Yeah, shark
Shark evening.
day afternoon.
There you go.
It's all about the dog.
Yes. Yes. Shark Day afternoon.
Yeah, it's called Schitt's Creek. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
The canon story.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Shark Night 2.
Love it.
This is one of the few movies we've done the whole movie.
Yes, we have. And we still have time left.
Oh my.
But
Oh,
What
God.
will we do with ourselves?
Empire. Ooh,
What?
yeah. I have to see what that is.
Oh my God, I actually recognize one of the actors.
Oh, my
from-
God. Empire of the Sharks. Speaking of shark cages.
Megan Fox is in the sequel along with Chase Crawford from The Covenant.
Oh, Megan Fox.
no.
Oh, how far we have fallen.
Yes.
Remember when she was in like big ass movies?
Yeah, but then she pissed off Michael Bay and
Oh, did she?
Oh, don't do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Do
Oh,
not piss
how?
off Michael
that,
Bay.
I think she called him a sexist or something to that
What?
degree, and it was like, "Do you know how you make your living?"
What?
Imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's like, do you want to drive a Ferrari?
From what I
Let
understand,
him do his thing.
Yeah, they're on the outs from
Harvey.
what I know, which is very little because I
Did
don't.
they remake The Fog?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, they
with
did.
Tom Jane.
Yeah.
He actually makes it into a good movie, Jason. You'd be surprised.
Adrian Barbeau
Oh,
was
they're
great in the
they're
first
making a another Riddick movie.
Was that
Oh,
Bloodshot?
fantastic.
Oh,
Oh,
Bloodshot.
Yeah.
With Fat and the Clueless.
No, Fat and the Curious.
Curious,
Yeah,
damn it.
The Fat and the
Oh,
Curious.
I messed it up. The Fat and the
Fat
Curious.
and curious. Okay.
So
Let's bring it home.
I can't really, I can't give it a proper Alf to Seinfeld.
Well, no one can because no one's seen it twice.
Well, and it was 2011. I wasn't exactly a young person when I saw this movie. I had a fully formed mind, so I knew how stupid it was. But I just love poking holes in the logic of it. It's just one of those movies that's so easy to make fun of. But I didn't know who Ted was yet. Like I didn't know the actor Dustin Mulligan yet.
Yeah.
And I liked him in Schitt's Creek. And when I came back because when I first watched
he's
Schitt's
great.
Creek,
Yeah, he's a really-
no,
yeah,
he's
he's
actually
really, really
a
good.
cool
Yeah.
actor. And when I was watching Schitt's Creek, I was like, I have seen this guy somewhere.
But where?
But it was so obscure, and I had to look him up, and I was just like, oh my God, he's in that awful shark movie.
You can almost imagine Ted looking through the screen going, no, you haven't. This is the first time you've seen me.
Yep. This is the most reputable thing I have
This
under
is-
my belt.
Nope, never did anything else.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm going to
It's
give
like
it a
the-
6 for that reason, because
It's Ted's Italian Stallion.
It's Ted, the prequel to Schitt's Creek.
I was just thinking of that. Yeah. Italian Stallion.
I'm not.
Mr. Norwegian cheesesteak over there in the corner.
I can't do it as an Alf to Seinfeld because I've only seen it once.
Yeah, so you're a straight 5.
Well,
right.
I think we should come up with a new scale for like bad movies.
Okay.
You know, there's, and we'll have to formalize it, but I think there's like the Ed Wood, James Wynn, like incredibly entertaining bad movies.
Actual Ed Wood movies, not the movie Ed Wood.
Yeah, actual Edward D. Wood Jr. movies.
Gotcha.
And then there's like, you know, bad movies like Tommy Wiseau's The Room, which is just boring. And then somewhere in the middle, you've got like a Space Mutiny, you know.
Okay.
Space Mutiny's bad, but
it's enjoyable to watch.
it's enjoyable enough, but, you know, it's not like, you know, Bride of the Monster, which I would put on today and just watch and laugh my head off. So I think this movie on a scale, and like I said, I'll have to formalize it, but I think this would be somewhere between a Space Mutiny and a Ed Wood, James Wynn, really hilariously bad,
Okay.
you know, Hobgoblins-y.
Oh man, Hobgoblins.
Yeah, you know, it's so on this new scale that I'm literally just coming up with now.
Surprised he isn't gyrating right now.
Yeah, I would. Oh God, why did you say
evolved.
it? Why did you say it?
I've evolved.
Because I'm scarred for life. That was the greeting I got in the parking lot that day.
Yeah, I know. I would say it's.
I was there.
This movie is halfway between Space Mutiny and Hobgoblins, for me, on a bad movie appreciation sort of scale.
All right.
Yeah.
I think if there was a computer that would randomly generate a film script based on some inputs, Shark, teen, you know, college kids.
If you could get your bot to write a movie.
An
you
AI,
push a button, you know, and literally it would crank this out. It was so predictable.
Yeah.
So predictable.
Well,
and they kept using the baits and switch, like you said, to the point where, how are they going to switch this one? Got it. Yeah, it was very formulaic, I believe is the term.
Well, it's like that old saying about you put how many chimps in a room and eventually they'll type out Shakespeare. Well, this is one of the byproducts that the chimps wrote before they got to Shakespeare.
Well, and it's weird too because it kind of played it safe in a weird way because it wasn't particularly gory. Not that I'm a fan of gore. I'm not saying I wished it was more gory.
Right.
But it's a kind of weird thing because
because
it's
Deep Blue Sea is way gorier. And
it's a teen exploitation movie, but
big time.
But there's no nudity and not much gore, and it's a weird creature in that respect because it's like you kind of tried to make one of those slashery kind of movies, but then you made it tamer.
Yeah,
and so you kind of took away the things that kind of make those movies enjoyable, which was like the big kills. You know?
Well,
there's no Freddy Krueger killing
kills.
Johnny Depp in this.
That's true.
And in the 70s slasher films, they were not as buff as they were today, are they?
No.
They're so serious about physique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody looks like they all have, gym muscles. They're all extravagantly cut. Not Joe Lara kind of cut, but cut nonetheless. Well, Malik was cut as all get out, so good for him.
Yeah.
He's definitely hitting the gym several times a week.
So on an Alf to Seinfeld, I think we're at slightly above a 5.
I'd say slightly above a 5. We
Okay.
can all agree.
And
Sure.
5.5, and a 6.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think on the bad movie appreciation, I think whatever the scale is, this is at that like 7.5 point between, because it's, I enjoyed watching it. So
Yeah, it was
I wasn't
entertaining.
bored.
Yeah.
It was more enjoyable than Space Mutiny.
Yeah.
Well, there was definitely more skin.
Yeah.
The guys like skin.
It was shorter.
And it was much shorter.
It was shorter.
Yes.
To be fair, and that
Cameron Mitchell wasn't in it.
That's true. That's true. And not to say that's kind of an easy thing to say is a jokingly good thing, but it wasn't very long. It didn't overstay its welcome.
Right.
You could have watched it on Sci-Fi late at night in a 2-hour block.
It made money.
Yeah. And
it did make money miraculously.
Yeah. And it's weird because it was 3D, but it didn't feel that 3D.
They didn't punch the 3D moments very
Not like
hard.
Jaws.
No.
Not like Jaws 3D.
Because Jaws starts out with a 3D moment.
Yeah.
You have the typical shark tropes in this movie, but Jaws 3D does start out with the fish head floating towards you slowly, and you know that's what you're in for. But that's the thing, though, with this movie, I think they went back and added some 3D moments, because when I first watched it,
I agree.
I don't remember it being 3D.
I agree.
Especially like you said, since there aren't that many distinct 3D moments, I think they added them, retroactively.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I don't remember it being that way.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a weird place to end, but it's
been enjoyable. We survived our own shark dive, hindsighters.
yes. And we will have pictures and video, hopefully by the next episode.
Yes, thank
Maybe you
to
can include them or incorporate them or weave them.
If we get those videos in, we're hoping we get those, in the next day or so.
Yes, because we do have to give props to Georgia Aquarium for videoing our experience, and to our fellow guest Michelle for coming to support us
Thank
at the
you, Michelle.
aquarium.
Yes.
She
And-
came and took pictures of our
Yes,
experience,
yes.
which was incredible.
And got
So
some great pictures too.
She really did. So we will incorporate that in our next episode,
And-
Hindsighters.
And as always, though, anytime we do something like this, we have to thank SeaVentures.
Absolutely.
And particularly Mr. Michael Drago.
Yes, sir.
Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, Wolfman Jack himself.
Sorry about the pretzel dogs,
Yeah,
Michael.
sorry about
We're
the
all
pretzel dogs.
sincerely. Nah, we don't
Sorry
care.
about the pretzel dogs. But no, seriously, the guys at SeaVentures organized it. Michael Drago of SeaVentures led the trip. It was a hell of a day. It was more than just the shark cage thing. We were there the whole day. Had a
Got to
great
see all the
time at a
exhibits,
wonderful, wonderful place. So yeah, super big props to them.
Exactly. Thank you all for helping make this happen. It was a truly once in a lifetime experience, but only if you let it be.
Well, and Darth, why don't you bring us home?
All right. Well, Hindsighters, thank you for joining us for our kitschy, compulsory shark episode after our daring shark dive at the Georgia Aquarium. Once again, thank you to everybody involved who came out to support us and lead us and include us in that experience. We appreciate you joining us for your thunderstorm time. I'm not sure if you can hear this, but it's the world's currently ending outside time. Thank you for joining us for your drive time, your listening time, your shark propelling themselves into the air time to eat a sea-doo rider time. This has been Darth, Adam, and Jason with Hindsight, and good night.